Often, spiritual growth challenges us with situations that seem contradictory at first glance. One of these is the act of stepping back. How many times have you felt guilty for distancing yourself from something or someone? Maybe you thought it was selfish or, worse, abandonment. But what if I told you that, in many cases, stepping back is the greatest act of love you can offer to yourself and to others? Today, we're going to explore this idea together, which might feel uncomfortable at first. Let's understand why stepping back is not only necessary, but also a powerful tool for spiritual evolution. You know those moments when you feel like your energy no longer resonates with certain places, people, or situations? That's what we're talking about today. Here's the invitation. Open your mind, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to consider a new perspective. Because in the end, you'll realize that this distance isn't an act of abandonment. It's an opportunity to grow, flourish, and align with your true essence. Ready to start this journey? One of the biggest emotional traps on our journey is confusing distance with selfishness. After all, we live in a society that teaches us to always be available for others, even when it means neglecting ourselves. But let's be clear, stepping back doesn't mean abandoning, rejecting, or dismissing anyone. Stepping back is an act of self-awareness and, many times, of love. Think about the concept of energetic resonance. When your energy no longer vibrates in tune with certain people, situations, or places, insisting on staying can create more strain than connection. Have you ever felt that weight when entering a space or having a conversation that seems to drain you? That happens because your essence has shifted, but the environment around you hasn't changed. And that's okay. Change is a part of life. Imagine a simple example. A toxic relationship. You try, insist, adjust, but it feels like nothing works. In these moments, stepping back isn't quitting. It's creating space for both sides to breathe, heal, and find new paths. The same goes for exhausted professional cycles or habits that no longer help you grow. When you learn to let go, you realize that far from being selfish, it's a move toward balance and respect. Have you ever stopped to listen to the sound of silence? It seems like a simple question, but silence carries wisdom we often ignore. In a noisy world full of distractions and pressures, silence becomes a refuge, a sacred space where the voice of your soul can finally be heard. It's there you find clarity to make tough decisions and the courage to follow new paths. In silence, there are no masks or external noises. It's just you, your essence, and the thoughts that really matter. A practical example of this is meditation. It doesn't have to be complex. Just sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Gradually, the answers you seek begin to emerge. Another powerful resource is connecting with nature. Walking among trees, feeling the wind on your face, hearing the sound of a river. These simple moments can turn internal chaos into serenity. Allowing yourself silence isn't running away from the world. It's creating space to understand it better. It's like cleaning the lens of your glasses. Suddenly, everything around you takes on a new meaning. And when you reconnect with yourself, you can identify what needs to be left behind and what deserves to be nurtured. In life's journey, there are times when we feel an invisible weight, as if something is pulling us backward. This is the signal that a cycle is ending, and resisting it only prolongs the discomfort. But how do you recognize clearly when it's time to let go? It all starts with feelings of stagnation and disharmony. That sense that, no matter how hard you try, nothing seems to move forward. Cycles that repeat, people who drain your energy, situations that no longer bring lessons. These are signs that something needs to change. And sometimes, it's necessary to listen not only to your mind, but also to your heart and intuition. When that persistent thought, that inner voice, says it's time to go, it's not a coincidence. It's your soul asking for space to grow. Think about a common example, a job that no longer makes sense. At first, maybe it was exciting, but now you feel the environment is toxic or your values no longer align. Ignoring these signs may feel safe, but the truth is that every day in that situation only increases the emotional cost. Trusting in the closure of cycles is an act of faith in life's process. Remember, leaving something behind isn't losing, it's making room for the new. Stepping back isn't just about turning your back and leaving. It's an art that requires awareness, empathy, and above all, compassion. After all, the goal is never to hurt, but to honor both your journey and the other person's. When done with care, stepping back can be a bridge to mutual growth. The first step is recognizing why you need to distance yourself. Ask yourself, why doesn't this resonate with me anymore? What am I seeking now? This level of self-awareness helps you avoid impulsive decisions and creates clarity for action. After that, it's important to accept that not everyone will understand. People may judge or resist your choices, but remember, other people's opinions should not be a prison for your evolution. When possible and necessary, communicate with love. Explain your decision clearly and respectfully, but don't over-justify yourself. For example, when leaving a relationship, you could say something like, "I need this space to better understand who I am and what I truly want. It's not about you, it's about my process." One phrase that encapsulates this idea is, "Compassion is the bridge between self-respect and respect for others." Conscious distancing is an act of courage. It's not about cutting ties, but about freeing yourself from attachments that no longer serve you. And when you do that, you open up space for new encounters, new opportunities, and a new version of yourself. Stepping back, often seen as a loss, is actually an opportunity for rebirth. By letting go of what no longer resonates, you create space for new energies to enter your life. It's like a tree in autumn. When it sheds its leaves, it's not dying, but preparing to bloom again in the spring. When you release something that no longer serves you, whether a relationship, a habit, or a limiting belief, you're opening doors to self-awareness. In the emptiness that remains, you discover who you truly are, without the external influences that once shaped your choices. It's in this space of solitude that your true essence has the chance to emerge. Think about simple moments, like sitting in silence in nature, or even writing about your feelings. These small actions help fill the emptiness with authenticity. Spiritual examples show us how rebirth is essential. The myth of the phoenix, rising from its own ashes, symbolizes the transformation that happens when we allow something to die so something new can be born. Every step back carries the potential for a new phase, more aligned with your true essence. When you trust in this process, you'll see that letting go isn't the end, but the beginning of something greater. There's a fine line between seeking temporary isolation as a form of self-care and using distancing as an escape. Understanding the difference is key to ensuring your journey is guided by awareness, not by fear. Temporary isolation is a deliberate act of self-love. It's when you decide to step away from the noise of the world to listen to your soul. It can be as simple as a spiritual retreat, a day of silence at home, or a walk without a destination in nature. These moments of introspection are crucial for clearing your mind and reorienting your heart. It's like putting your life's boat in a safe harbor during a storm, a break to recharge and continue the journey. On the other hand, escape is driven by denial. When you avoid facing the challenges and emotions that arise, you're distancing yourself not only from others, but from yourself. Escape can show up as addictions, procrastination, or prolonged isolation, where the goal isn't to reconnect but to hide. Imagine someone cutting ties abruptly, without reflection or communication, just to avoid internal confrontations. This behavior doesn't heal, it only delays the inevitable. The key to differentiating these two approaches lies in the intention. Ask yourself, am I seeking clarity or am I running away from discomfort? When distancing is conscious, it brings peace and growth. When it's an escape, it carries a sense of emptiness. Facing your feelings is essential. Only then can isolation become a springboard, not a shield. The journey of conscious distancing isn't just about leaving things behind. It's about making room for the new. Every step you take toward your essence is an act of courage, a move toward your true purpose. Remember, stepping back isn't abandonment. It's an opportunity for spiritual and personal growth. Have you ever thought about the times you stepped back to grow? What changes happened in your life when you decided to listen to your intuition? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might inspire others to take this necessary step. Let's grow together, not only in the mind, but in the heart. And if you want to dive deeper into this process, watch our video, The Power Within Your Dark Side, which will help you understand more about how our shadow has a lot to say about us. If this content touched your heart and helped you see things in a new way, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, we talk about spirituality in a practical way, helping you transform your journey. Keep exploring videos like this, and remember, your evolution starts the moment you decide to prioritize yourself. Peace and light.